Today we're going to find out how much it really costs to 3D print minis, but before we do that, make sure you like and follow. Are you interested in printing your own D&D minis, but not sure how much it will cost you? In this video, we'll go over all the costs involved in 3D printing miniatures for your D&D campaign. We'll cover the price of the printer, materials, and additional expenses you may incur. If you're a tabletop gaming enthusiast, you're probably familiar with the high cost of purchasing pre-made miniatures. But with the advent of 3D printing technology, you can now create your own custom miniatures at a fraction of the cost. In this video, we'll break down the costs involved in 3D printing your own D&D miniatures so you can decide if it's a cost-effective option for your gaming needs. 3D printer cost. The first and most significant expense in 3D printing D&D miniatures is the cost of the 3D printer itself. Depending on the level of detail and the quality you want to achieve, price can range from a couple of $100s to several thousand. For beginners, a good quality FDM printer such as an Ender 3 or Prusa i3 can be purchased for around $300 to $800, while more advanced resin printers like Anycubic, Photon, or the Elegoo Mars can be purchased between $300 and $500. Resin printers provide a lot more detail than the FDM printers, so for printing minis, you should probably go with a resin printer. The price of the printer is a one-time cost, and it will pay off in the long run as you can print more miniatures and other items. Materials cost. The next expense is the cost of printing materials. The cost of materials varies depending on the type of printer and the size of the miniature you want to create. If you're using an FDM printer, the most common material used for miniature printing is PLA, which costs around $20 to $30 per kilogram. For resin printers, you'll need to purchase a resin that costs between $30 and $60 per liter. The cost of materials may vary depending on the quality of the resin or filament and the size of the miniature you want to print. Additional expenses. Finally, there are some additional expenses you may encounter when 3D printing miniatures. These include the cost of software for creating or downloading models, the cost of electricity to power the printer, and the maintenance and repair costs that may arise. These expenses are usually minimal, but it's important to factor them into your budget to get the most accurate estimate of your total cost. But when it comes down to each mini, it can cost a few cents to a few dollars depending on the scale of the mini. Is it 32 or 75 millimeters? If the model is solid or hollow, or how much support material you use for the model. So how much does it cost to 3D print D&D minis? The total cost will depend on the quality of the printer, the cost of materials, and additional expenses you may incur. However, a good quality 3D printer can be purchased for a few $100s, and the cost of materials is relatively low. 3D printing your own D&D minis can save you a lot of money in the long run. 3D printing D&D minis can save you a lot of money in the long run, and you'll have the satisfaction of creating your own unique and custom miniatures. If you're a tabletop gaming enthusiast, 3D printing your own miniatures is definitely worth considering. Hope you enjoyed this video on 3D printing. For more 3D printing videos and tips, make sure you like and follow.